Everyone in Blox Fruits is always chasing the most overpowered fruits like doe, kitsune, leopard, or dragon. But today, I'm doing the complete opposite. I'm going to be using some of the worst fruits in C2 for 24 hours to see if they're actually as bad as everybody says. And honestly, one of these fruits completely surprised me. Alright, the first fruit we're using is the rubber fruit. Now most players stop using this fruit once they reach second C or they fully master the fruit because they think it's just too weak. But we're giving it a real test. Let's try the first ability. Okay, the range on that move is pretty mid, but let's try it on an NPC. It's not that bad, you know, but the problem is the knockback fruits. It's pretty annoying for PvP and or grinding. That's it. The smash ability. It's a pretty short-ranged move, and it also has a lot of N lag, so it's kinda annoying. But then we have this, another short-range move, but a movement move for this fruit is the slingshot. I mean, this can take you far depending on where you shoot it from and if you hit something. But of course this fruit has a transformation which is called second gear. Now this transformation enhances everything from this fruit, from every move from this fruit. For example, the M1s are faster. I think they have a bit of range too, and also the cannon is way stronger. He uses two hands now. I think at the beginning it was one. And the X move is instant. And then we have this, the rush move. You can hit it from farther now, but still not as good because it's a short range move, but it does a lot of damage. Which brings me to the slingshot move. The movement ability of this fruit. This allows you to go really far. As you can see, it's really OP. Sends you flying, bruh. Now if you were to hit this on a tree, you'll be flying, gang. So I'ma use this. So while rubber definitely isn't one of the best fruits in second C, it's also definitely not as bad as people claim it is. But with that, I'ma move on to the next fruit. Alright, up next we have the diamond fruit. Now this fruit is known more for its defense than damage, but let's activate the transformation and test it out. Right off the bat, you notice we have these two spikes and your skin immediately turns red. Let's see how this fruit actually performs against an NPC. First up we have Short Storm. And then you could also click the Z move, which does damage. Although it's a low damage ability, it does damage, I guess. And then Shimmering Disruption, which is this. Really, the fruit is really underwhelming, although it is actually decent for PvP, especially if your opponent is not a top tier fighter or something like that. You could definitely win the fight. But now we have Prismatic Reflection. That's an underwhelming attack, especially after the nerf, which you can now trick the move. Now move on to the movement glitch, or the movement move, if you do the glitch correctly. Yep, like that. With that said, brings us to our last fruit of the video, the magma fruit. Now some players actually underestimate this fruit in second C, especially if they're not using it against CBs or like bosses or something. But let's see how strong it really is. First up, we're gonna use the first ability, which is Magma Shower, which is literally in the name. It's a shower of magma, literally. Then we have Volcanic Assault. This only works against players, the NPCs, so you can just throw it in the air. It does this. I think it's like a barrage of magma. But then we have the C move right after that, which is not a hold attack. Just throw it and it does damage. And then we have this move, the V. This does hella damage. So if you could stun your opponent and use that move, your opponent will get cooked. And now for the movement, Beast Ride. Now this move is like, it's a slow flight for magma users, and even if you get hit by any attack or any move, your move will not be cancelled. Your move cannot be cancelled by any attack or any damage taken. So yeah, you could literally fly infinitely if you wanted to. Yeah, the damage is OP. Let's rank this fruit. Alright, after ranking all 3 fruits, here's my ranking. In third place, we have Diamond. Diamond is not terrible, but the damage is really bad. It has a good movement glitch, so you can get to places real quick, and you take less damage against most fruits. In second place, we have Magma. Sure, we have a lot of damage in Magma, but we don't have any damage reduction, and movement is not really that quick with Magmas. And in first place, which gets the golden medal, we have Magma. The damage is solid, the movement is awesome. Like, what more could you want? So it would really be good for grinding or for PvP. Now honestly, Rubber was definitely the biggest surprise today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe, and comment below what fruits I should test next. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.